The May 17th regular meeting of the School Board of Charlotte County is hereby called to order. Here in Charlotte County, we will achieve our vision of student success through our mission. We will provide an innovative educational environment that allows and inspires success for everyone. We're going to open this meeting by the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag, and since we have someone from the VFW in the front row, I'm going to ask if you would mind leading us in the pledge to our flag. If you all could please stand and join us. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for sitting there so prominently for me. Mr. Superintendent, do we have any additions and corrections to tonight's agenda?
Yes, Madam Chairman, we have a couple of additions and a couple of deletions. The additions are D10 and D11 under reports. The first is student recognition for assistance during medical emergency. That's D10. D11 is bus driver and aide recognition for alerting occupants of a home that was on fire. We have one out-of-state travel addition as well, Charlotte Tech Center. Two deletions. Item D3 in recognitions and reports. The report was a Teacher Citizen Award. That teacher, or the teacher in the next item, D4, Florida Council of Social Studies Award, that particular teacher is in class tonight, so cannot be here.
So moved. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we make the following additions and corrections as presented by the superintendent. Is there any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? That motion carries unanimously. Under reports, Mr. Superintendent.
We have a number of reports this evening. So I'm going to ask that we go down in front. We'll stand, and then we'll get a chance to sit for a while. Then we'll come back up, and then we'll sit for a while, and then we'll come back up. So
Great.
I'll walk you through this as we go through.
Great. And as you can tell, I'm a little froggy tonight, so I'm not going to be shaking hands. Please don't take it personally. I'm just letting you know in advance.
As the board moves down front, our first recognition is going to be recognition of VFW District 10 Voice of Democracy Oratorical Contest winners.
Thank you, Dr. Whitaker. Is this on? On. Good, thank you. Madam Chairwoman, school board members, Dr. Whitaker, school board attorney, Ms. Young, and esteemed guests. Thank you for this opportunity to recognize four of Charlotte County's finest students. Since 1947, the Voice of Democracy has been the VFW's premier scholarship program. Each year, more than 100,000 high school students compete for more than $2.5 million in scholarships and incentives. Students compete by writing and recording a broadcast script on an annual patriotic theme. And this year's theme was, Does My Generation Have a Role in America's Future? Over 25 Charlotte County Public Schools students submitted entries, and 2 students from Charlotte County have been recognized as the VFW District 10 Voice of Democracy Oratorical Contest winners for 2011. They are as follows: Tyler Treasure and Emily Serpa, both of Port Charlotte High School. So at this time, and on behalf of the Charlotte County Public Schools, it is with great pleasure that I call up Tyler and Emily for a presentation. I'd like to congratulate Emily Serpa. She placed 3rd in the Voice of Democracy Oratorical Contest for the whole District 10. So congratulations, Emily. And Tyler Treasure, also of Port Charlotte High School, Voice of Democracy 2nd place winner. Congratulations, Tyler. Congratulations. Okay, I can keep on going. Again, we're going to recognize our middle school competition. Conducted nationwide, the VFW sponsors a youth essay writing competition for middle school students. And they get an opportunity to write an essay expressing their views on democracy with the prospect of winning U.S. savings bonds. The theme this year was, Does Patriotism Still Matter? And nearly 125 kids in our Charlotte County Public Schools participated and entered this year's contest. So 2 of our middle school students have been recognized again as the VFW District Number 10 Patriots Pen Essay Contest winners for 2011. And they are as follows: Matias Robles of Port Charlotte Middle School and Paul Evers of L.A. Ainger Middle School. So I'd like to call up both Matias and his teacher, Mrs. Shelley Baust from Port Charlotte Middle School, and Paul Evers and his teacher, Deb Chamberlain from L.A. Ainger Middle School for a presentation. All right, I'd like to congratulate Paul, who earned 3rd place in the District 10 competition. So congratulations, Paul. And Matias Robles for placing 2nd in the Patriots Pen Essay Contest for District 10. The Patriots Pen Essay Contest and Voice of Democracy Oratorical Contest would not be possible without the support of our local VFW posts, 5690 and 10746 in Rotunda. And I want to thank our local VFW posts and all their members for supporting the children of Charlotte County and the students of Charlotte County Public Schools. And so at this time, I'd like to recognize the following representatives of our local VFW post. He's the event chair from 5690, Mr. Emil Venklick. And I'm done. Thank you very much.
Our next recognition is for Volunteer of the Year. So, Mr. Mike Riley, if you would come forward. And I'm going to invite the school board to be seated.
Good evening, everyone, board members, chair. I'm Mike Riley, School and Community Relations, Adult Education Manager. But more than that, tonight I'm Mike Riley, the guy that gets to introduce some amazing people that without them, I don't know what we would do. Some of them I know personally. I thought they were employees. They're there from sunup to sundown. They've been there for years. I know a couple of the people. I've been here 31 years, and I think I've seen them in the schools for 31 years. It's just an amazing opportunity what we have to do tonight. And what I'm going to do is start with Murdoch Middle School and introduce Diane Boughton. And if someone would bring Diane forward. I guess they won't. There are activities going on in the schools this evening, and there may be a reason for that. Sally Jones Elementary School. Amy Dunleavy. Sally Jones would like first to give a special mention to a wonderful volunteer named Kathleen Wrigley, who passed away just a short time ago. She'll be greatly missed by the students and staff at Sally Jones Elementary School, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention her today. Amy has been a loyal volunteer at Sally Jones during the 09 and 010 school years. This year, she was a PTO president, and her list of accomplishments is astounding. As PTO president, she either heads on or works on literally every event that they have at the school. Open house, uniform coordinator, school supply sales, kindergarten breakfast, teacher and book fairs. Amy also volunteers in her daughter Rachel's second grade class. She's on the SAC committee, Lighthouse Leadership Team, Parent Involvement Committee, District Writing Committee, Code of Conduct Committee, and actually I ran out of space to say anything more about her. So this is Amy Dunleavy from Sally Jones Elementary School. From Neil Armstrong Elementary School, Jason Bellotta. Jason Bellotta is an amazing, one-of-a-kind volunteer. He's been SAC chairperson for the last 2 years, has been their SSP committee for the last 3 years, has served on several textbook adoption committees. He created and implemented an astronomy club 2 years ago and teaches class once a week to the students in the club. He's also implemented astronomy sidewalk night. He took the Science Sunshine Club too. Furthermore, he helps organize their annual family science night and facilitates experiments and has been a judge at their annual science fair for the last 3 years. This is what's powerful. Since his involvement in our school, more fathers have begun to volunteer and to come to our school activities and events. Way to go, Jason. From Meadow Park Elementary School, Rita Stack. I know they can. For 7 years, Rita's been a volunteer in the classrooms. She comes into kindergarten to help with letter and sound reinforcement and helps to get the testing done on a computer for the Pearson math program. In second grade, Rita works with small group instruction during the LA block, helps struggling students during math, creates centers for math and anything else that needs to be done for the class. She's reliable and she works well with the students. They enjoy working with her. They love having her sit with them at lunch and spending time with them at recess as well. Rita is a very dedicated and caring person, and the staff at Meadow Park Elementary School expresses their congratulations and thanks to you, Rita. L.A. Anger Middle School, Bobby Allen. Bobby Allen has been a tremendous help to the band program in the following ways. Chaperone at all events, including the pool party, middle school band night performance at an LA Lemon Bay High School football game, bus trips to concert performances, the band lock-in, that's a 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. He was the only parent to help organize and administer the cheesecake fundraiser the day it arrived. He was there from 10 in the morning till 5 in the evening. He helps everyone. He is an epic role model and a hero at L.A. Anger Middle School. Bobby, congratulations. East Elementary School, Bridget Hesby. Ms. Hesby has served East Elementary School as a community liaison, classroom volunteer, PTO officer, SAC officer, Eagle Buck Store coordinator, school carnival coordinator, and organized fifth grade graduation for years, even when she didn't have a student in the fifth grade. The list goes on to cover every single PTO initiative at East Elementary School. Bridget is at East Elementary School four full days every single week. Her daughter is moving on to middle school next year, and we still don't know what we're going to do without her. She is selfless and a dedicated volunteer and an amazing person. And I can hear Mrs. Corselletti cheering right now. Congratulations, Bridget. Lemon Bay High School, Beth Johnson. Also know Beth as a Take Stock in Children mentor. Mrs. Johnson is an integral part of many students' lives. She assists with the Lemon Bay High School boys basketball program in so many ways. She also is a part of the Tri-B PBS committee at Lemon Bay High School. She's a member of the SAC committee and an integral leader for Project Graduation. Additionally, over the years, she has been a part of their mentoring program and has mentored several female students at Lemon Bay High School. She has impacted and touched many young lives at our school and in the community. She unselfishly gives of her times and talents, and this lady is talented in so many ways. Some people just can't follow the rules. Liberty Elementary School. We have Michelle Stenler and Carrie Cangiano. That was Mr. Gifford I was referring to. Michelle and Carrie are co-presidents of Liberty Elementary School's PTO. This is the best year that Liberty has ever had with respect to PTO involvement. They've had a winter fest, a STEM night, a turkey trot, and a bunny hop, and all of them were hugely successful because of the work and dedication of our two co-presidents. They've created such a positive parent, student, staff environment at our school that they just had to recognize both of them. Ladies, congratulations. Vineland Elementary School, Jamie Amo. Jamie has been a part of the Vineland Elementary School community for the past 6 years. She's been very active in PTO and has held the office of president for several years. She's well organized and dependable. She's very proactive and an excellent problem solver. She's able to think on her feet constantly. Jamie is a hard worker who faces challenges with ease and determination. She is willing and able to tackle any job and do it well. Deep Creek Elementary School, Patty Sukunikoff. Patty is Deep Creek's Volunteer of the Year. She's a key member of their PTO board. She has served as PTO secretary this year. She's highly creative and manages PTO newsletters, meeting minutes, flyers, and updates the PTO section of the Deep Creek webpage. Patty's resourceful and chairs our cartridge collection program and several other fundraising activities. She's highly organized and dependable. The staff says they are fortunate to have such a talented volunteer at Deep Creek Elementary School. I don't know much, but it sounds to me like these people should be running for some public offices. Peace River Elementary School, Mrs. Dealey Brown. Is she? I know they have a program tonight at the school. Mrs. Alvarez, the principal, told me that I think that she may be there tonight. Yes, she is. I want you... I always don't like Volunteer of the Year, and I don't like this to be a competition. But there's some people that you want to recognize for various reasons. A committee sits down, and this is harder than Teacher of the Year, because when you look at what these people do, it's amazing. I don't know that our schools could function without them. We would be hard-pressed. When you look and you hear everything you've heard that these folks have done, it's just amazing. And they do it out of love. They give themselves. They give of their time. Time is precious. It's what you can truly give and be a pure person for it. And they do that every day. This year, we have 3 people that we're going to name Volunteer of the Year for Charlotte County Public Schools, just for their service, the longevity of their service, and what they do. Our first is from Charlotte High School, Mr. Tom Hannon. I can't even believe. And I had a whole bunch of jokes to say about Tom. Actually, I do want to read about Tom. Since his daughter was a student at Charlotte High School in the 80s, he's been a tireless volunteer. He's been an active member of the Tarpon Booster Incorporated for nearly 30 years. For the last decade, he has single-handedly been responsible for the Charlotte High School Athletic Department's AD program. Tom is also a great supporter of other student activities such as the performing arts and various clubs. The reason I'd like you to see him, he's 80-some years old. Well, I look old anyway, but he looks younger than I do, easy. But he runs circles around everybody. He's an amazing man, and that's Tom Hannon. When I talked about someone that I thought actually was an employee, this is this next person. From Port Charlotte High School, Mr. Joe Arnold. Wait, Mr. Dionysia. Joe Arnold reports to school every morning at 5:30 a.m. to help Mrs. Capo, the principal's secretary, sort the teacher and staff mail, rain or shine. He makes all the copies and distributes them. But the most interesting thing is that Joe has a special bulletin board called Athletes in the News, which he cuts out and places onto the board for all the students to see and read. He's an asset to have at Port Charlotte High School. No matter what the task, no matter what needs to be done, Joe Arnold is there to carry the ball. And from Kingsway Elementary School, Mildred Carr. That was Mayaca River. Yes, thank you. Mildred Carr, through her efforts, students are fortunate to have better provided with a reading atmosphere of the creative kind. This year, Mildred has faithfully devoted 3 full days a week to Kingsway Elementary School. For over 10 years, starting with her creation of the storybook window while still employed by Charlotte County Public Schools. Mildred has changed the display monthly, which is always perfectly coordinated to the seasons, celebrations, or themes of Kingsway Elementary School Library. Mildred Carr's many talents and willingness to share them make the library a wonderful place to visit. Now, I'd like Jeff Harvey to come up here, please. We're going to do something. Mr. Harvey should be the spokesmodel for the school system, and I'd like him to introduce his volunteer of the year, Miss Susan Rosen.
Miss Nicholas, will you please bring Miss Rosen, Miss Susan Rosen, our volunteer of the year, up here for Mayaca River, please? And we have a few comments from Miss Nicholas and Abigail. Where's Abigail? One of our wonderful students. Here she comes. She's all ready to do this. Okay, this is all good. It's nice and wireless. Okay, all right. Miss Nicholas, do you want to go first? Then we'll let Abigail take over. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lynn Nicholas, and I'm a 3rd grade teacher at Mayaca River Elementary. I'm here tonight to say a few words about Sue. I've had the pleasure of working with Sue this year. She's an extraordinary person who volunteers her time weekly in my classroom working with students in small reading groups. Whew, she's awesome. Maya Angelou said it best when she said, "I've learned that you shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You need to be able to throw something back." That's exactly what Sue has done. She gives back daily. The countless hours she has given by working with the students only proves that she is a remarkable person who is loved by all children. So thank you, Sue, for giving back to the community. Thank you for your dedication to the students, and thank you for your kindness and friendship this year. And now, one of my students, Abigail White, would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Miss Nicholas, and thank you to the board for allowing me to speak on behalf of the class. What can I say except we love you, Miss Sue? Miss Sue is the best volunteer. Miss Sue has been great working with our class in reading groups. She has helped us with fluency, comprehension, and the dreaded FCAT. Miss Miss Sue is always patient, fun, and always has a smile on her face. Miss Sue, on behalf of all the students you work with, thank you for caring about our future, and thank you for helping us reach the stars. We love you.
Great.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise and acknowledge the services of some of the greatest people in Charlotte County. If you just walk. Not on my diet.
Let's go this way. This way and around.
Barb. Okay, board members, the next report this evening is recognition of this year's retirees. So I've asked Mrs. Barbara Mellinson, who's our Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources and Employee Relationships, to come to the podium and make these presentations.
Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Whitaker, and Attorney Young. Calling these people retirees, I think, is really a misnomer. As I've been talking with them, some of them for the last year or so, about what their plans are for retirement, not only have they given us a total of 1,224 years of service to Charlotte County Public Schools and our students, that didn't tire them out enough. They are planning to do some really cool things. Some are going on cruises. Some are actually going kayaking in frigid water. Others are traveling, visiting, reconnecting with family members. Some people are going back and forth between Florida and the north. I guess that makes them now snowbirds. Some are taking up gardening. And anybody who's ever tried to garden knows that that's not something for an old retired person to be involved in, because that's a lot of work. Others are working as mentors, volunteering, so they are keeping busy. We really need to find another word besides retiree whenever we honor these phenomenal people. I've even heard that some people out there who have retired have even taken up yoga, so Very interesting. I'm going to read your name. If you will come up, we have a plaque for you, and then please come over and spend a moment or so with our board members as you go through to shake their hands. Linda Anderson, 27 years. Cynthia Burns, 32 years. Kelly Byrne, 11 years. Bonnie Carr, 35 years. Janice Chenier, 18 years. Hope Davis, 16 years. Susan D'Amato, 10 years. Cynthia Eigenman, 30 years. Victor Goodman, 10 years. Diane Graff, 20 years. Robert Goodmanson, 9 years. Josephine Harper, 28 years. Carrie Klum, 35 years. I tried to get her to read the names of the retirees, but she wouldn't do it. Carol Leonard, 30 years. Jane McEwen, 23 years. Bill Maskell, 25 years. Deborah Marsh, 24 years. Christine Robinson, 25 years. Edie Robichaud, 22 years. James Robichaud, 28 years. Sue Seifert, 16 years. Aaron Vanderhorn, 17 years. Gail Wilkie, 35 years. Now, there may be some retirees here who didn't have time with their busy schedules to call in to RSVP for this evening. So I'm going to read the rest of our retirees, and if you happen to be here in the audience, please come forward because we have a plaque for you as well. And if you'll hold your applause with this group until everybody's been named, I'd appreciate it. Jeffrey Alston, 17 years. Myrna Bacchus-Moore, 33 years. Janice Bover, 9 years. Cinda Bowsman, 18 years. Cynthia Burgess, 23 years. Linda Cerrone, 13 years. Barbara Cushing, 10 years. David Dorn, 19 years. Ava Douglas Berkeley, 13 years. Barbara Ducor, 28 years. Elizabeth Ellis, 22 years. Mary Esposito, 14 years. Betty Frazier, 6 years. John Gaburi, 18 years. Christina Gabrielle, 6. David Gaylor, 12 years. Jack Gray, 15 years. Frank Harrison, 16 years. Janet Hastings, 23 years. Ada Hernandez, 21 years. Deborah Holmes, 13 years. Elfrida Housen, 9 years. David Houston, 11 years. Kathleen Hutton, 13 years. Charlene Kazuda, 12 years. Jeffrey Leary, 15 years. Wendy Lisbon, 8 years. Charlotte McCurry, 24 years. Catherine McNeil, 6 years. Sandra Paxton, 25. William Paxton, 25. Virginia Paulson, 6. Anthony Raimondo, 14. James Redmond, 20. Marilyn Smith, 24. Albert Soltis, 24. Linda Stombach, 24. Rita Theodoros, 6. Virginia Vivona, 35. Carolyn Watterson, 9. Marge Westerling, 14. Marion Whalen, 13. Madeline Wyckoff, 12. Is there anybody out there who may have surprised us by deciding to retire at the last moment? Congratulations to all of you.
At this time, I'm going to ask Chris Brest to come forward. Recognition of the LTT cadre. Are you going to do the video first? Okay.
Good evening, school board members, Madam Chairman, Mr. Superintendent, Madam Council. Thank you very much for giving us a few minutes tonight to be able to talk about the third annual LTT Learning Technology Teacher Cadre. It was an exciting third year, and we've really hit our pace with a lot of the things that have been going on. Our teachers learned about video conferencing, video production, photo editing. They learned about Weemies, Wikis, and Wordles. Oh my. And they did all sorts of cool things with those. They received laptops, projectors, Elmos, iPads, digital video cameras, which are also still cameras, and software. They received 9 days of training, and in return for that, next year they will be providing training for us at their home schools. They'll also be doing mentorships with teachers at their campus to try to bring forth this technology out into the schools. We like to call them technology evangelists. And you may have seen the movie Pay It Forward. That's the philosophy that the cadre was built on. This year, Charlotte High, Deep Creek, Liberty, Myakka River, Murdoch, Port Charlotte Middle, Punta Gorda Middle, and Vineland all took place in the cadre. And Punta Gorda Middle and Charlotte High were the first times that they were in the cadre. We didn't get to bring them in the very first year because they were hurricane schools, but we got to catch them up, and in exchange we added a few extra members from their schools to make sure that we're ready to move on next year. As part of the cadre, the teachers had 9 days of instruction and countless hours of homework. It was really something that they had to give of themselves and change the way that they thought about instruction by infusing technology in everything that they did. Now, one of the things that they did as part of this is they produced an end-of-course video as one of their assignments, and all of them were excellent. But one of them really embodied the creativity, the humor, and the student involvement that we love to see, and we wanted to take a moment and show it to you tonight.
Chris? I don't know. What do you think, Charlie? What's your worries? What do you think, Mary? Because what we play at school. All these teachers. Well, okay, you can be the teacher. Well, I be the superintendent. It's the guy who owns this school who gets the boss everywhere around. It's cool. Can I be the boss too? Okay, you can be the principal. They get to boss the teachers around and get out of a lot of faculty meetings. What's a faculty meeting? Oh, everyone knows that. They meeting with a lot of teachers sit down because they're listening, but they're just drinking their coffee and reading their emails. Is it snack time yet? Stop talking about food, Charlie. Hey, Chris, do you want to play some pool with us? Sure. I want to teach about computers. Me too. Yeah, let's go. I'm the mom. I said, but I know about computers. And yeah. Wait a minute. We have to be bosses. Don't worry. He's the boss of the computer stuff. And you're the boss teachers around, and you have to complain to me how the air conditioner never works at your school. Cool. Then would you get it fixed? Yeah, but I thought you were working on it. I don't know. Let's fix some of I'm going to do some computer stuff. Can they bring their snacks? That's a good idea, Chris. Wow, look at them. They don't even know how to use a computer. What do you do this thing for? What is this around? Somebody give me an Advil. I'm calling a faculty meeting. Nothing here about computers. I'm getting you to be trained by Mr. Brett. But I'm in the training. Okay, Mary. But I just in class. I will call it a cadre. What's a cadre? I'm not sure. I think I heard on Star Trek. Cool word. What's a cadre? I'm a real bulletin. I'm going to be sent on an expedition in Alaska. That means okay, the cadre got to work. Lots of things like supply, Windows Movie Maker, photo story. We got great technology. We even got an iPad. Unloaded application to use in the classroom. We even went wireless. We made riddles, wikis, and memes. We learned to use Adobe Premiere. We can't wait to teach other kids. The superintendent is happy now.
A special thanks goes out to our 3 cadre members who worked on that, Cindy, Tara, and Kathleen. They're all from Myakka River, so when they come up, please make sure that you say something to them. But a special hands to them. At this time, I'd like to invite 3 of my trainers, Mary, Deb, and Denise, to come up, and they will read the names. And board members, I invite you to please come up here. Sounds just like it.
We're going to recognize Charlotte High cadre members to begin with. Susan Arnold, Jacqueline Cushman, Jillian Farricker, Emily Klossner, Jillian's in here. Amy Schneider, In Deep Creek Elementary School, we have Ginger Abraham and Tracy Gilray. From Liberty Elementary School, Carol Maggio, Paul Safransky, and Denise Zemak. From Myakka River Elementary School, we have Tara Eichen.
One of the instigators for the movie.
There you go. Kathleen Resignia. Okay. And Cindy Solomon.
Kathleen's back at school directing a musical tonight.
From Murdoch Middle School, Paul Platt.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll give you one more.
Kara Stefanik. And Tom Trelow. Tom here?
Tom, over here comes Carol.
And from Port Charlotte Middle School, Shelley Boust. Erin McCormick. And Amanda Miller. Yeah. Okay. Punta Gorda Middle School, we have Sharon Bruno. Jeremy Bunk. Kara Reynolds. Aaron Salcido. And Wendy Toms. Good. From Vineland Elementary School, Jacqueline Barber. Debbie Batzel. And Edith Dooley.
We give them all a round of applause again.
You have to love that video, don't you? That was just a hoot. Okay. Gene Spur where's Gene? He's coming. Oh, there he is. Okay, Gene Spur is going to come and do the presentation of the LEED certification medallion for Charlotte High School.
Madam Chair, school board members, Dr. Whitaker. I am pleased to be here tonight to present to the board a certificate recognizing Charlotte High School as having recently been awarded, I'm being heckled, awarded gold certification from the United States Green Building Council. Charlotte High School is the first conventional full campus high school in the southeast region of the United States to receive gold certification. Charlotte High School is the last of the hurricane-damaged schools to be rebuilt. All of the rebuilt schools have been certified under the LEED program, with 2 receiving certified, 3 receiving silver, and Charlotte High School receiving gold. As you are aware, LEED certification is a nationally accepted benchmark for the design, construction, and operations of high-performance green buildings. LEED provides a rating system by which a building can officially be deemed a green building. LEED promotes a whole building approach to sustainability by recognizing performance in the following 5 key areas: sustainable site development, water efficiency, energy efficiency, material selection, and indoor environmental quality. The LEED certification process takes extensive design work as well as meticulous record keeping. I would like to take a minute to recognize just a few of the many people who are involved in this process. Jack Williams and Kevin Tateras from Harvard Jolly, also from the Harvard Jolly design team, Craig Mayhew with DMK Associates, Don Crosby with Engineering Matrix, Joe Snyder, and Jeff Conley with Sequel Consulting. I'd also like to thank Bill Burns, Dan Dreyer, and Jeff DeRocca from Ajax Building Corporation. Also like to say thank you to Barney Duffy, Andy Tenney, and the entire Charlotte High School staff for their patience throughout the construction process. And finally, from the Charlotte County Public Schools Construction Department, Cheryl Slattery, Richard Chiles, Jason Delora, and yours truly. Without these dedicated professionals, this achievement would not have been possible. Lastly, I would like to ask Bill Burns to come up and say a few words, and I know Bill also has a presentation for the board.
Good evening, members of the board and superintendent. I'll be brief. Just wanted to first say it was really an honor to be a part of this project. It really starts with the guidance of the board asking that LEED certification be obtained. It flows down to the facilities, giving us direction on how to pursue the tasks. Jack Williams and his design team providing the design criteria to obtain the certification level, and then the Ajax Building Corporation team following through on the documentation and the implementation. We have a little token of appreciation for you to set your mug on so you can be reminded of our achievements at Charlotte High, and again, just want to thank you for the opportunity to work for you.
For our next presentation, I'm going to ask Gail Buck to come to the podium, please. Gail is the director of our nursing services.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, school board members, and Dr. Whitaker, Attorney Nicholas, Ms. Young. Mr. Nicholas, would you please join me at the podium? Each day, parents and caregivers send their most precious children to our school sites. And each day, we are obligated to educate and care for them. Some days we take for granted that the day will be just like any other day and that our child will return home to us stimulated to learn and healthy. On May the 3rd, Brett Carpenter, a freshman at Port Charlotte High School, left for school, never expecting that that day would be different from any other. While at lunch, Brett choked, and it was the quick response of Scott Nicholas, dean at Port Charlotte High School, that made a difference in the life of Brett. Scott utilized abdominal thrusts, formerly called the Heimlich maneuver, to expel the food lodged in Brett's throat. The call came at 11:30 to Nurse Twyla Young that the incident had taken place and that Brett was being escorted to the clinic by Mr. Nicholas. Ms. Young assessed Brett and notified Brett's parents of the incident and advised further medical evaluation. Well, tonight I'm happy to report to you that Brett is fine. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Daniel Carpenter, Brett's father, Mrs. Nicole Carpenter, Brett's mother, along with Brett to the podium. I thought it was fitting that Brett have the opportunity, because every day we just take for granted that the day's going to be a normal day out there. Nothing unusual is going to happen to our loved ones. So tonight I'm asking Brett to give this to Mr. Nichols.
You know what's funny about this? The next day I walked into school and I felt like a 3-year-old. I went into school and my friend said, "Brett, why weren't you in 5th and 6th period?" And I said, "I had an incident at school." They think I like peed my pants or something like that. So, and I said, "No, I had a choking incident." And they said, "What are you, 3?" And I said, "No, I choked on the chicken." And they started laughing, and I just can't believe that he was there because I didn't do this. So I pointed to my throat with my fingers, so guessing he must have known that I was choking. So if he wasn't there, I probably wouldn't be here today.
I just want to say thank you again. The outcome could have been so much different. And as a mom, thank you for being there with your quick actions. Thank you. Thank you very much.
At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Duckworth to come forward for the next presentation.
Caesar? And Madam Chair, board members, superintendent, counselor, Ms. Davis and I wanted to present a couple of people to you. District service support has very distinct roles. We feed children, we drive children to and from school, we keep the buildings clean, heated, we provide the furniture, but every once in a while we get that opportunity to do a little bit more and have a little bit more of a direct impact on our students. And tonight we're going to talk about one of those opportunities and introduce you to a couple of people.
We're very proud of literacy at Kingsway Elementary. We have many, many literacy opportunities happening at Kingsway, and it's due in part because of our wonderful media specialist, Mrs. Bonnie Carr, who is retiring this year, but has just kept literacy so important, and boys and girls are so excited about reading at school because of that and at Kingsway Elementary. And not only does she get the staff and the students excited about literacy, she's gotten our bus drivers excited about literacy. One very important bus driver, Mr. Caesar, he's known fondly to our students, and they have a few words to share with you about the wonderful the bus drivers reading challenge that occurred at Kingsway Elementary. So I'm going to give this over to them.
I'm so pleased to be here this evening. We're going to share this explanation. Mr. Caesar came to me last year and said he would like to do a bus drivers reading challenge to include all boys and girls, not just bus drivers. And there was a very special reason why he wanted to do the bus drivers challenge. It's because he had been inspired by a particular series. He asked me, do we have boxcar children in our library? Oh, do we ever? We have a huge collection. Would you like to tell why you were...
Good evening, board members. Thank you for the opportunity of sharing this story with you. when I was in the third grade, I didn't know how to read. And a teacher would read the Boxcar Children. And she showed me how to read through that book. It's always been a favorite of mine, and of course my kids, they have to read the book when they were coming up. I got inspired of getting this program together because I saw that a lot of kids on the bus, all they were talking about is, I played level 3, I played this Xbox, and all these things. I said, what about books? They never brought that up, so I spoke to Miss Bonnie and I said, I want to do this reading contest. We included everybody. You did not have to ride the bus. It's a complete school except for the first grade. That year, we didn't think they were ready. I got some people to give some awards, some prizes. Some of the drivers participated, and it was a great success. As a lot of drivers noticed, as the kids were going home, they were talking about what chapter they were up to, how many books they were reading. So they had to have 4 books in 4 weeks done and certified by Miss Bonnie that they read them to be able to get a prize. So it started the whole ball rolling. This year, we included the first grade. That was a landslide. That was a landslide. I'll let her tell you the figures on that.
We have data because at Kingsway, we love data. Last year, we thought it was huge with 64 children participating in grades 2 through 5. This year, I was not expecting Mr. Caesar to sponsor this again, and so we had to sandwich it in between the Stone Crabs Reading Challenge, the Sunshine State Young Readers, and the second grade Super Sleuth Book Club. So imagine all that reading going on, and we still had time for a total of 113 participants and a total of 710 books read in a 1-month period. And we changed it a little bit. We didn't go with Boxcar Children. We want to make it new every year. And this year we kind of went canine, and we inspired reading of Clifford books with the first graders, and Hank the Cowdog and others, and nonfiction as well with the upper grades. And I am so thrilled to have Mr. Caesar. He just inspires the kids. And at Kingsway, well, I think in all elementary schools, there's a really favorite book. It's called Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. And I'm quite sure Mr. Caesar does not allow the pigeon to drive the bus. However, although you don't let the pigeon put hands on the bus, I am so grateful that you have encouraged and inspired our children to put hands on good books. And thank you so much.
Thank you. I'd just like to say one thing. On the first grade, we had one child that read 23 books in 4 weeks. 23. And we also had special needs students that participated. And even if they didn't read all 4 books, they still got an award. And we already have parents that have committed to giving prizes for next year, and bus drivers. So I hope other schools can join in on that program. Thank you so much.
It's me again. Dark in the morning, and our bus drivers are out there hitting the streets, picking up the students while most families are still in bed. On the 25th of April, I had bus number 0810, driven by Miss Tammy Andrews, and her attendant, Mr. Al McKinney, were out picking up students for Charlotte Harbor Center. En route to a stop on Beale Street, Miss Andrews happened to glance over and notice what looked like smoke coming from one of the residents on the street. They went ahead and picked up the student, and on the way back noticed that the smoke was still there. Miss Andrews stopped. Mr. McKinney got off the bus and went to the house and ended up waking up a young couple with their small child, while Miss Andrews contacted her dispatcher, who immediately notified the fire department. And in the course of an average day, the calm, committed thinking on the part of these two individuals may very well have saved a family and certainly saved a house. Drivers are much more than chauffeurs. And because they pay attention to where they're going and what's around them, we averted a tragedy. And I'd like to introduce Ms. Tammy Andrews. And Mr. Al McKinney, two of the Transportation Department heroes.
That was some amazing stuff right there. Can hardly speak after some of it. Moving on, Mr. Superintendent, the next item on our agenda is new business, the consent agenda.
I'm recommending school board approval of tonight's consent agenda as it's presented to you this evening.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as presented this evening. Is there any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Action item A, the exchange of the bus with the Boys and Girls Club. Mr. Superintendent.
This evening, I'm recommending approval of a request to exchange a recently retired school bus with a more heavily used retired school bus for the Boys and Girls Club of Charlotte County.
I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
You seconded, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the exchange of the bus with the Boys and Girls Club. Is there any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The amendment to the contract with the Harper Aiken, and I saw them here today, yes, architecture for the Punta Gorda Maintenance and Operations Facility. Mr. Superintendent.
Tonight, I'm recommending approval of the contract amendment with HADP Architecture Incorporated for professional services related to the Punta Gorda Center Maintenance and Operations Facility.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the amendment to the contract with HADP Architecture for the Punta Gorda Maintenance and Operations Facility. Is there any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Been here for a while, but thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Next item, construction manager at-risk contract approval with Ajax for this same building.
And along the same line with the same building, I'm requesting approval of the contract with Ajax Building Corporation for construction services at the Punta Gorda Center Maintenance and Operations Facility.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the construction manager at-risk contract with the Ajax Corporation. Is there any board discussion? And I would just like to mention for the public that this particular, the Punta Gorda Center Maintenance and Operations Facility is the very, very, very last hurricane-damaged facility. We didn't even begin until all the schools were complete. That's why it's still a construction project from the hurricane that's hanging around. Further board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries unanimously. Comprehensive safety inspection reports.
I'm pleased to bring to the board this evening the safety inspection reports for this year, all in compliance, and I'm requesting now approval of those reports as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the comprehensive safety inspection reports. Is there any board discussion? Seeing none, that's actually a lot of work. I don't want to go
Yes,
without
a lot of work,
mentioned, but
and very, very important. This is regarding the safety and welfare of our children in the workplace, school place.
yeah, thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries unanimously. Personnel action and job descriptions. Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, tonight, again, I'm requesting your approval of the personnel action that has been brought to the board tonight, as well as the job descriptions that were attached to that agenda item.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the personnel action and job descriptions as presented. Any board discussion? I did want it to go on record that we have several new job descriptions for jobs related to Title I. I think I saw Dr. Dollinger in the back of the room, so
Yes.
moving right along, I guess, with that. Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? And that motion carries unanimously. The next item on the agenda is citizen comment. Mrs. Smith, do we have any citizens who wish to speak tonight?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Steve Gordon, please.
Okay, Mr. Gordon. Welcome. Could you pull the microphone up so we can hear? Thank you.
Mr. Superintendent, Madam Chairman, board members, I'm here on behalf of the seniors at Charlotte High School. My son, real proud of, is graduating senior this year. However, the students that were drunk at prom are being allowed to walk across the stage with the rest of the seniors. It's inappropriate. We're sending the wrong message to our students that underage drinking is an appropriate action that'll be rewarded by graduating with the rest of your class. I mean, our Dakota Student Conduct says they shouldn't be allowed. In fact, while they're suspended, which from what I understand, they received 8 days suspension, which includes yesterday, today, and tomorrow, they're being allowed to show up at school for graduation practice. And right in the book, it says that any student that's suspended isn't supposed to be on any school campus or any extracurricular activity, or they're subject to be arrested for trespassing. What kind of message are we sending to our children that we're going to allow this behavior? I'm begging the board to please vote on this tonight to overturn Principal Duffy's decision and don't let these students be rewarded with graduation ceremonies Thursday night at the Civic Center. It's just not right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there any other citizens who wish to speak?
James Gordon.
Oh, Mr. Gordon?
I'm also here for the same reason that he was, talking about how the seniors are allowed to be being allowed to walk at graduation despite showing up at a school function, being drunk, and having police show up to give breathalyzer tests, and some of them came back supposedly 3 times the legal limit of being drunk. Also, the rules that we were given, we're not allowed to have phones, wallets, keys, and if we show up without a tie on, they'll send us home. But yet they're going to allow them to walk at graduation for a public intoxication. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any other citizens? Is there anyone else who would like to address the board tonight? Okay, seeing none. Attorney comment, Mrs. Young. Thank you. Board member comment, Mrs. Rendell.
In the interest of time, and I know there's some awards to go to at 7 o'clock, I will pass. Thank you.
Mrs. Miller?
Again, it's been a long evening, and there's so many wonderful things that have happened, but this could go on for a long time if we talked about them. I do want to congratulate the seniors that will be graduating in the next 3 days, and I wish all of our employees a rested and enjoyable summer break, and look forward to seeing you back in June and July, or July and August. Sorry about that. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Mr. Vincent?
I'll save mine for an extra long comment next time.
Or if you wanted to just hold it. Mr. Swift?
There's 3 quick little things. Our neighbors to the south today chose
or selected their next superintendent, who is the current superintendent in Monroe County. Lake County apparently has adopted a 4-day school week for next year. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. And Osceola County today abandoned their superintendent search in favor of extending their interim superintendent's contract for a year. They have had a massive loss of top-level district administrators in the last month. So it's going to be interesting. One board member walked out of the meeting and went home because he was so frustrated. Look forward to seeing everybody in Tampa in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. I wanted to say a few thank yous to our community who have been supporting our local scholarships at our senior awards nights, because without their support, many of our students would have to borrow more money and perhaps not even go and attend courses of higher education. So we really, especially during these difficult times, appreciate the support from our local community groups. Mr. Gordon, in the back of the room, I want to thank you for speaking to us tonight. I want to try to just clarify that the role of the board is for the governance of all the schools, and we don't vote on things that affect one school over another. I'm certain that there will be some examination of policy as the summer continues, but we appreciate your commitment, and we too find underage drinking unacceptable. So thank you so much for coming out here tonight. Mr. Superintendent.
I just want to let the board know on a more somber note that L.A. Ainger had 2 employees pass away this past month, both of them paraprofessionals, Latifa Salazar and Vicki Larson. Latifa in particular had 2 young children, so we just remember the families of these two women and remember them in our thoughts and prayers, and they'll be missed greatly by the folks at L.A. Ainger.
Thank you. Then if there's nothing further to come before the board, this meeting is adjourned.